my personality was my trauma for a long time.
It's really hard to feel understood or seen or valued by just people.
How do we learn to practice gratitude on an everyday level?
You're able to honor what feels like energizing to you versus like what like on the outside looks celebratory.
Come.
Like lay.
Let's, yeah. And then you walk down, you're like, wow, I feel like a layer of my body
right.
has been taken.
Like, right, it's gone. I didn't know it was possible.
Knowing how you want to be celebrated is so, so important.
How do you learn that though? How do you know? Welcome to season 3 of The Messy Parts.
Welcome to season 3.
We made it. High five. Yay. Wow, look at us. Look at the set.
She's new.
Yep, we have a plant. Look at her. Does she have a name?
Yes.
Oh, what's her name?
Yes. We have Messy number 4.
Hey, Messy
joining
number 4.
us this season.
She's blooming. Look at her.
We
so tall.
Love her, and she'll continue to grow throughout the season, which is nice to have something alive. In addition to us.
Yes, us too. We are here and alive as well. I like the color change. It sets a different kind of mood, but I'm into it.
Yeah, and the paintings. Yeah.
So beautiful.
It's so beautiful, and it's so funny because recently we saw a picture where we had one of these paintings for season 1.
Yes, we were like playing around with like our idea for a set.
Yeah, and we didn't end up using it. And so it's funny that season 3 now we're coming back around and still having this be a part of the podcast. Feels special.
It's a good metaphor for us. I feel like we always plant seeds that we eventually find our way back to.
And it's also the recognition that things will evolve and that you may have an idea one day and you may not always know exactly what you want it to look like, but it's still there.
Yeah. Yay. I'm to think about like how often we think about gratitude and like honoring the things you work for and how long you're able to like sit within the things that you like worked hard to create. That's what I want to talk about.
Yeah. I mean, this podcast is one version of that. So I think oftentimes you move through gratitude really quickly.
Yeah.
And you don't sit in it long enough or at all.
Why do you think that is?
Our brains are trained to focus on what's bad. It really is that simple.
So annoying. Yeah, you're right.
So you have to essentially retrain your brain to focus on what is good.
Yeah. What you've worked for. Yeah, because I feel like in my head, like once I've done something I've been working for, I'm like, all right, cool. What's the next thing I need to like do? There's no like, the goal was that it got done, and there was no like planning for staying in the thing that got done. Yeah. It's hard.
So earlier this year, I paid off my student loans.
Oh, yeah.
And
so proud of you.
So proud of myself. Such a big goal. It was hard, and it got done. And I remember when I did it, immediately the next day, I said, so what's my next goal? And that was so shocking for me to even say that to myself. I was like, wait, whoa.
Like, whoa, you've been thinking about this for like years.
This was like thousands and thousands of dollars. You can't just move on. And so that's one example of the ways that like, even for myself, it's hard to sit in gratitude and be like, oh, I did that. I should be proud of the fact that I did something that I've been thinking about for a really long time and not just brush past it.
Yeah. Because like now you have all this like mental space that's freed up because you've accomplished this thing you've thought about every day. That's like worth even just like, I don't know, like a meditation moment, something, you know? Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
I think I really appreciate the space we take between podcasts. I think it gives us a chance to do that. Like between season 2 wrapping up and like season 3 starting, like we have enough time to be like, wow, like we're planning this new thing. We're thinking what we've done so far. Like there's room for us to like celebrate the new learning curve we're agreeing to, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like we've had that.
And it's always interesting, at least for me, when we talk to other people and they're like, oh, you have 2 seasons already? And I'm like, yeah. And there's so much that we still feel like we need to learn. So it is hard sometimes to like take a step back to actually see how much the podcast and us have grown in the process.
Yeah, we have like 20 episodes like that just are on the internet. They're just there, you know.
That's
like,
our dissertation.
You know, low key, you know, it has a lot of, if you put it all together, it's basically a thesis. Yeah. Like, and I think the part I'm thinking about now is like, all we did was remain consistent. You know, like, of course it's nice to have like wrapped up things and it's nice to be able to put a bow on something, but the experience of it was just to keep doing it.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like that much time had passed, honestly. I know it has been 2 years, but it didn't feel that way. Because I feel like we were so good about staying in the episode we were in.
Yeah.
That by the time we had like 10, it was like, oh, like we've just been doing this exact same process, you know, and not always thinking about if you want to have 10 episodes, that's the goal. It's like, no, you just want to have like good ones, like that we think are funny or entertaining or interesting. So yeah, something about process also feels like worth celebrating too.
Yeah. Yeah. And gratitude is acknowledging the process. And I was thinking about this recently. You know, a lot of us who plan events, we plan the events for so long, for months or years on end. And then the event is 4 hours or 2 hours.
Right. You're like exhausted. You're like, I want this to be over now. I just want this to all
exactly.
To
end. Like every detail I have thought about for so long. And there's something about enjoying the process because the actual event itself is so short.
Yeah.
It matters how you did something, not just the fact that you did it.
Yeah.
And oftentimes a lot of us have been trained to just focus on the end. And this is something that we are always interrogating and always coming up against.
Yeah.
Because the process is just as important as the outcome, if not more.
Yeah, like the things you learn are worth celebrating as much as like what the learning got you. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah. Okay, I have a question. When you think about like celebration, think about like as you've been growing up or as you're getting older, like how has your relationship to celebrating changed, if it has? Or maybe like gratitude.
So earlier today I was with my nephew and he took maybe 4 steps and everyone in the room was like we were all clapping for him and he started crying because he was so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about how he's already being oriented towards being celebrated for something so small that his parents don't always like clap when he walks because...
But still, it's impressive, you know?
It's impressive.
He wasn't able to do it before, now he can.
Right, yeah. But I remember when I was a kid, I don't feel like I was celebrated a lot. That's not an experience that I had. I feel like the focus was more on like what I did wrong. And like that's when I received attention versus when I did something right. And so my relationship... So I never really believed people when they were like celebrating
like,
me.
Sure.
And you have had this experience with me.
Yeah, I know I have.
Or like when I was in college and people would give me compliments or they would say something, I'd be like, okay, just like,
you're like whatever you say, sure, those are words.
You know, so it's been a real learning curve to allow myself to be celebrated. Not to celebrate other people. That's easy. That's natural. That comes. That's what I love doing that. But being celebrated also sometimes comes with being the center of attention. And those 2 things I don't think are necessarily mutually exclusive, but they feel so intertwined that it feels hard sometimes. Especially when it's something that like, oh, I don't really think I need to be celebrated for this thing. Like I just did a thing.
Right.
Let's move on. How about you?
Yeah, no, I definitely similar. I think like I just like I don't like being center of attention, and I think like I'm a person who's super aware of the small ways that like the thing didn't work out the way that it could have or whatever, or should have, or I wanted it to, whatever. So in the midst of, I feel like I'm always stuck on those things, so I have a really hard time like enjoying it. So I rather just like I'm good. Even with like birthdays, like I don't celebrate my birthday. I struggle with it. I think my friends try to every year. They're like, yay. And I'm like, just not interested. I can't, I don't know. So I think it's hard for me the same way you're describing to be center of attention, but also the things that I want to celebrate, I haven't figured out what that is. I haven't figured out what those things are, you know, like I don't know. Like, yes, I work hard for something and then it happens, but like that's what working hard got me. So that's my celebration, is that I don't know, that it happened. So I have a hard time with the people celebrating me. I'm trying to get better at the like personally acknowledging things that I've done.
Right.
Like just to myself, if anything else.
Right.
But even that's hard. So
yeah, some people suggest to keep a brag list. Have you heard of the brag
no,
list?
it's a brag list.
Basically a list of things that you've done really well.
Like that you write yourself or that people have told you? Or
both.
Oh, okay. Huh.
So
Yeah.
a lot of people do it in a professional setting.
Oh, like emails.
Just being like, so when I get the promotion,
right, like here's
I
these
did
13
X, Y, and Z,
emails. Right.
You're not gonna forget because I didn't forget that I
Yeah.
did this thing. But I also think it could be in life.
Yeah.
Which I think that could be a good practice.
But it's like really a skill because I think like part
Yeah.
of what I think about like in a workspace, even like my current role, whatever it may be, like I'm not good at it. Like I'm not good at being like for me it feels obvious. Like my like actions speak for themselves, I think. But there's a skill in being able to like articulate them to people. That is a skill I'm still working on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard.
Do you ever feel proud of yourself?
I think so. I don't ever feel like not proud. I don't know if I can. I don't think I'm like disappointed in myself often. But I don't know if I can like. I don't know. I feel like I don't have a good sense of, like my bar. I think is way too high in my head for what like accomplishment is. I mean, I don't know where that comes from. Like school, maybe my family, or like just society. I don't know. Like wherever I learned, like setting this bar like in a possible place. Like I don't feel disappointed in myself, but I think I have a hard time being like, yeah, like I'm proud of this. I'm just like, yeah, I did something I worked for and it happened. Like that's my like answer, which probably is not the kindest answer. But it's hard. I don't know how to get better at it, but I'm so good at doing it for everybody else. So I know how to do it, right? Skill that I'm like, so I don't know why I can't like apply it to myself. I think to your point, we're taught doing that is like bad or like
Yeah.
you're supposed to be like you can't brag or like you should be like humble and you're not supposed to like I don't know, like say all your accomplishments often. So I don't know what the like where the line is for how to do it in a way that doesn't feel that way, you know?
Yeah. I think it's a skill, honestly, and it's something that is also it's a practice. It's something you like have to practice, and even being aware that you did something that you wanted to do and that you yourself did that thing.
Right.
And you're like, oh wow, like maybe 5 years ago I couldn't do this thing. Like acknowledging also
Like the time passing.
the growth that it required for you to be able to get to where you are. Like even the painting that you recreated in your apartment. Yeah. Yesterday we're
like admiring
this is
it.
Great.
Right.
Like, Linda, this is great. And you're like, I have to fix this. I have to fix this. And this is not the right color. And this. And we're like, it was great.
Like, but can both be true? I don't know. That's why I struggle because I'm like,
both
that's
are
the hard
true.
part. Yeah.
Both are true.
Yeah.
And the quest is, can I do a little bit more of like what we were doing for you?
Right,
like, can you say, oh my God, like I really got the color correct. That's it. It doesn't have to be the best painting you've ever created, but like one simple acknowledgement that you did something well is worthwhile.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a Virgo rising, so I am my biggest inner critic. And that is something that I have like actively tried to work against in the last few years, just being like, whose voice am I listening to? Is it the critic that is speaking right now? And like, can I pay attention to it? Like, oh, you should have done this differently. That's like one very simple phrasing that signals to me that that's like a critic speaking.
So how do you How do you counter it?
And by acknowledging it first, being like, okay, well, this is my self-talk.
Okay,
also,
let's hear it. I'm
right?
ready. I'm ready.
Oh, you should have done something differently. It's like, yes, I could have. And that is what I did. And so also accepting how I showed up in a particular situation versus like how I could have, which to me is like all anxiety, right? Like I should have done this and this.
Yeah.
Like that's just anxiety also speaking. And so one is just acknowledgement and like reorienting. That's why affirmations are so helpful.
Yeah.
Like people think that affirmations are like the silly, frivolous thing that you're doing, but what you're actually doing is retraining your brain. If you spend your entire life believing that you are not enough.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who tells you you are.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who tells you are. If you spend your entire life believing that you are a failure, then it's really hard to receive the opposite information. And affirmations allow us to like retrain our brains to be like, this is true. This is true. And every day I'm going to affirm that this is true.
Right.
Versus the thing that I have agreed. It's like an agreement that you made with yourself at a certain point.
Yeah.
I hope that
that makes sense.
No,
that's helpful. Because I think part of it is like, I think it's the articulation part that feels like a block to me. Like for myself, like I don't think my inner voice anymore. I've worked on her. You know, she used to be really mean. And I was just like, whoa, I've never been that mean to you. Why are you being mean to me? Yeah. So I feel like I have a harder time like articulating it like out loud, like outside of my body than like inside my body. There's moments where I can be like, oh, like I did it. Like I did this thing that I was working on. Then I can move on. But I think it's supposed to stay in it longer than I'm. And maybe I'm not. I don't know. Maybe it's like something I'm battling. But I think I have a hard time with like the people who I like celebrate for some things. I don't feel like I'm like doing it the way they are, right? Instead of like focusing on my own experience, I think I'm doing a lot of like comparing.
Would you say more?
Like even with like, okay, let's say painting, because it's just, we talked about it already. Like the people I consider to be like really talented like artists, like their art doesn't look like the art I make, which is, when I say it out loud, it sounds stupid, I know, right? But in my head, even like the one that I made for this one, like this is made differently, inherently different. Like the paint is different, the type of paint is different. So like it shouldn't even be, so the logic always fails at the comparison point. It doesn't change the like, that's the anxiety in my head. Does that make sense? Like the thing that I'm insecure about is just like a preference in style versus like not being good at it. But it's still like, that's like the logic I give myself to like walk out of my celebrating something. Does that make any sense?
So let me see if I understand what you're saying. You compare yourself to someone else who you think does it better. And so then there's no reason to celebrate yourself because it's not up to the standard that you want it to be.
Right. But then the difference is that like theirs looks different because they use different materials than I did. Like inherently it's not
so then it comes to like accessibility.
Yeah, but I chose my materials on purpose. Like I don't like, this is like this kind of texture paint is like a different kind of paint than the paint that I like to paint with. So it's a choice I made. It wasn't like a access thing. I didn't want to use it. But I'll use that as like a reason to still be like, well, it's not the same, so therefore it's not as good. And then I'm like, whatever. Then I'm like walk myself out of what could have been like a moment of being like, look, I did this thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Are there any poems that you're proud of?
Don't ask me about poems.
Just feel like you've written so many and you spent so many years writing poetry. I feel like you have to have one that you really treasure.
I don't think so. I think like I maybe the question worth answering for both of us is like, what does being proud of something mean? What does that mean to you?
What does being proud of something mean? That you are content with what you are witnessing and that you are content with what you have contributed in the process. Or for example, if the reason why I said a poem is like, I mean, even in previous conversations, I'm like, wow, you articulated this thing so well. I'm so like happy that you said this in this particular way. And to me, it's also like a contentment and a sense of happiness or like a joy that comes out of seeing something that only you thought about in your mind and now it's reality.
Yeah, I think, okay, my best answer is that I think I'm proud of what the poems did for me to write them.
Yes.
Less proud of the poems.
Okay.
Maybe it's a struggle. Like I
think
so
that's good
true.
enough.
I think, okay, great. Then I think all of them, because like they served their purpose.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like none of them are done, which maybe is just whatever. That's how I feel. But I think like when I think about, I think a good example would be the art show I had in undergrad. That was such a good example of like an idea I had in my head that like made sense to other people the way that I had it in my head. That like, I think that feedback is something I can be proud of. Does that make sense?
So you're proud that your idea made sense to someone else?
Not that it made sense, but that like I articulated myself in a way that like I didn't have to like further explain. Like, yeah, that like what I like the way that I put it together was like translatable to like people that without me having to like narrate the like the connection. That I think that's a through line of what I think proud of something means.
So it inherently invites the viewer.
It invites the viewer, but I think it also like, I think it's really hard to feel understood or seen or valued by just people. I think that's just an unfortunate reality of existing.
Yeah.
So I feel like the things that I feel proud of are the ones that don't feel like that much work to have that experience. Like,
Okay.
to have the experience of like, I said something and it landed as I intended it to land. Mm-hmm. I think most things are so much more work than something as simple as a back and forth. So I think when it comes to like art, I think I'm proud of art that lands
Interesting.
as I intended it to.
Yeah.
But more proud of processes. Like I'm way more interested in like how things happen than what they become, which is why I really enjoy our podcast. Because like every episode is different, and like there's some that I like more than the other ones, but the entirety of the whole like season is amazing.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense. There's a part of me that's hearing that there needs, not that there needs to be, but that it's important when something makes sense to someone else that you created.
Not that it's not that it's important. It's that it's good feedback, because I know I make sense to myself.
Right.
Like I'm not confused about what I intend or what I mean. But when I'm able to do something in a way that like doesn't involve my further involvement once I've done it, I'm like, great. I can leave this alone now, and like it can exist and do whatever it needs to, but I don't have to like, I think I'm exhausted by explaining myself, and I'm proud of moments where I don't have to, where I'm like, great, I can say what I thought about something and it makes sense enough that I don't have to like keep adding any more energy to be understood or seen or valued or whatever it may be. That's what it is. So less the other person's value of it, but just that like my intention landed.
Right.
Whether you like it or not, I don't really care, but you like knew what I was trying to do.
Right.
That I think is hard in art to me.
Oh.
Right. It doesn't happen that often.
That's why I don't really like going to museums. I'd be like, what the hell? You what? You spent
you're
how
like,
many?
and
the canvas is supposed to say what?
Yeah, you're like, that represents, right, exactly.
That feels like a stretch most of the time to me.
Which is why sharing art is so hard. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I fully understand.
Okay, what about a different context? Like, does the definition of proud change, you think, depending on the context? Like, art is one context, but like family or like work or yourself or, I don't know.
I don't think so. Not
it's
for me. Yeah. I think there are small things to be proud of. Like, I am proud of myself when I complete my to-do list and I do the things that I said I was going to do that particular day. Like, at the end of the day, I'm like,
you're like, yeah,
right.
I did it.
I did that. That's good job.
You got a star.
Yeah. I'm proud of myself when I manage my time well. So for me, it's not always something grand.
Yeah.
It could be the smallest.
Yeah, those are easier for me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The big things are the ones that I'm like, I don't know. Like I don't have an answer. That's why I struggle with the answer. I think I'm proud of all the small things. Like but I don't know. Maybe proud is like such a big word to me. I'm like, I followed what I said I was gonna do. Like,
yeah.
Yes.
That's worthy of being proud.
Yeah. Maybe in my head when I think about celebration, I think of like something grand or something that involves like more like frill and stuff than I'm interested in. Maybe that's why I'm like.
Yeah, because to me, feeling proud also translates
like
to feeling
private.
Satisfied.
Yeah, okay. That
I
is
feel
easier.
satisfied
with like I can leave this as is.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is easier.
Yeah.
So when I think about my relationship to like being satisfied or celebration in that context, I feel like I've always been really good at it for myself. Because I think you have, I don't know, like if you're not, then like that sounds exhausting.
Yeah.
I feel like even when I was younger, like without anybody else's like articulation, like if I felt like I was done with it, I'm like, I've addressed all of my stuff with this task, which is the best that I could do with it. But it wasn't always celebrated, you know, like by other people. So it's hard to, because I feel like celebration for myself versus celebration with people looks and is different.
Yes.
That's where I'm like, with myself, it's easy. Like I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I be doing stuff I say all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, let me ask you this. How do you like to be celebrated?
Yeah, I hate that.
Or like when you feel celebrated, what is happening. Like, I feel celebrated when I'm being listened to.
Okay,
When
keep going. Yeah, give me more stuff. Say more.
Like when someone remembers something that I said. Like,
You're like, wow, you are like paying attention to me.
yeah. Oh, like that landed in a way that maybe I forgot what I said, because that usually is the case.
Yeah.
But those are the small moments when you're paying attention. It doesn't have to be like a grand dinner or party. Like, none of those things feel...
Yeah, I hate those things.
Yeah, none of those things feel reflective to me. But like, oh, I feel celebrated when you include me. When you were thoughtful about my inclusion in something. When you didn't need to be. So, celebration could also be... it could exist in the everyday.
Yeah.
It's not like this one day of the year, then we're going to celebrate you and everyone's going to... It just feels like a lot of pressure.
I think when I think about celebrating like my friends, I think, or maybe this is also my answer for myself, I don't know, but if people around me are working towards something and they're able to accomplish something, I think that is worth like acknowledging.
Yeah.
And I think often like the people who have accomplished that thing aren't interested, able to see that it's worth sitting in. So I think the like role of a community is like, maybe you don't, like, even for you when you finish your yoga, I was like, I know for you've been doing this thing this whole time, right? Like, and you're like, okay, now it's over. Like, I spent all my time, but like, that is like the role of your people, right? Is to be like, you did all of this work to get this thing that you worked really hard to get, and it warrants like sitting in it, even if and you shouldn't, for me, I think, be in charge of the like curating the space where you sit in it, depending on what it is. That's where I feel like my role in my friendships is to like pay attention enough to know that you really worked hard towards this thing that you wanted and you got it.
Yeah.
And now we're like, here we are where you have no labor left to do for this task that you worked towards, but you get to like talk about it and like tell us about it and share about it and like do it or practice it or have a space to like do more of it, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
That feels like celebration.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's a different skill to allow yourself to be celebrated.
Yes.
And to celebrate yourself.
Different skill to celebrate yourself and to be celebrated.
Yeah.
Oh, from each other. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Like, it's one thing for me to accept that you are... like, you want to spend time thinking about this thing that I just accomplished.
Right. Yes.
Versus... I am so proud of myself that I accomplished this, and so then I am going to do X, Y, and Z
to like acknowledge. Yes.
To acknowledge that.
I agree. Very different skills. Yes.
Yeah. And that's why.
But both, I think, are my definition of celebration. Whatever the common threads of those two skills are, I think is my answer.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like, for example, when we're thinking about birthdays, I don't always think it's other people's responsibilities to celebrate your birthday. I think that you yourself can decide how you want to celebrate yourself. Like, last year, what did I do? I went on a hike in the morning. Like, I just had an Adeline day. I said, this is how I'm choosing to celebrate my life today. And tomorrow it might look different, etc.
Yeah.
What did I do? I went on a hike. I think I went and got a massage. I went to a yoga class. Like, all things that were like pretty silent and just outdoorsy.
Yeah. And
I didn't do a big
yourself.
dinner, and with myself.
Yeah.
I was by myself most of the day.
Is that the collage here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then a few days later, then I celebrated with other people. But I first and foremost was like, this is how I want to spend my day. This is how I am choosing to celebrate my life.
Yeah.
Some other years, I've just like, I've always lived around water. So I'll just go to like the river. And I'll just be like, I'm so thankful to be alive.
Yeah.
Like, I'm grateful to have another year of existence. I'm grateful for everything I've learned. And so there's something about not just like even celebrating, but talking about gratitude. Like, how do we learn to practice gratitude on an everyday level? Which is something that even when we were thinking about journaling, I was like, most of my journals, when you look at them, are actually just gratitude journals. I'm so serious. Because I think that it retrains your brain in a different way to say like, oh, I'm grateful for everything I have. That like at a point in my life, I didn't. And so it's worthy of acknowledging that this thing that I worked for really hard is now true. Like, I'm grateful for my breath. There's so many things to be grateful for, especially like I work with, I teach chair yoga, and I work with a lot of elders, and their body just
can't do the same things that yours
doesn't work the same.
Yeah.
And so it might take me 3 seconds to walk up the stairs, and it'll take them maybe 4 minutes to get to the same place that I'm at. And so I always remember to be grateful for my body and to be grateful that I am able, because at some point that will not always be true. And so I think there's a distinction to make around celebrations and practicing gratitude.
Yeah.
Also, they're not the same.
No.
At all.
Yeah, and I think even more, like, I think acknowledgement is, like, different than celebration. And it could be one and the same. But sometimes acknowledging is enough.
Yeah.
You know, not everything, I don't know, like, some things can be just yours. Like, for me, for my birthday, I think I'm pretty disciplined about just being like, I don't want to talk to anybody on my birthday. And it's not, like, I'm not sad about it. I'm not in a bad mood. I actually rather not.
You want to spend the day in your own energy.
Right. So I think I've been really good about doing that for a while. And it was interesting because, like, in the beginning, people were like, no, like, we could, like, do, and I'm like, I understand that you think that I'm, like, trying to avoid, like, you talking to me. I don't know. It's not a bad, I'm not upset. So it took a while for me to hold my line about it, because it's been such an important day for me. Like, it's been such a helpful reset, whatever it may be, like, in my, like, life, that, like, it's been good discipline to, like, protect that celebration for myself.
Yeah.
But now it's easier. It's just, like, it was an interesting, like, experience to be like, I know everybody else expects that celebration looks a particular way for birthdays especially, and I'm like, it just doesn't have to. Like, it can, and, like, that would actually be more for your benefit than mine. But it's just it's an interesting, like, balance to figure out what feels like celebration to you, and making sure that, like, you're able to honor what feels like energizing to you versus like what like on the outside looks celebratory. Yeah, that's what a tricky one.
Absolutely. And that's why I asked you, like, how do you like to be celebrated? Because I do think it's important to know that for yourself, and to also be able to articulate it. Because if someone wants to, like, go to a day party with me on my birthday, I don't want to do that. I don't want, no. That's not how I want to spend my time. I don't feel celebrated that way. Yeah. And I'm in a big crowd of people, and you want me to go to the club? Absolutely not. I'm not popping no bottles. Not interested.
No,
I will throw up. I've done it, and I've thrown up. Did I not throw up on you years ago? And I went home 10 minutes later, and we paid a $50 cover. Like, it didn't. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. And so over the years, I hear you. Like, I've gotten better at telling myself or figuring out for myself how I want to be celebrated.
Yeah.
Recognizing that it doesn't look the same for everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think I'm still working on my answer. I don't know if I have a good one for you, but I think what feels like celebration is like something slow. I don't know what else. I don't know if I have any activities in mind, but yeah, I think I'm not trying to be outside. I'm just not trying to be outside ever, really.
Something dim.
Yeah, exactly. You walked in my house this morning. It was dark. There's no lights on in my house. That's how I live.
Yeah.
Like, well, it felt like, okay, this is a good gift that I've gotten. For my birthday last year, my boyfriend got me like 16 candles. I still have them somewhere,
Yes.
but like I'm home and I'm just lighting candles in my house. So get me candles, right? Like, but I think, like, outside of what others can do, I think I don't know, like, it's really hard. I think about it, like, in a work context, like, there's things that how do I explain this? Like, sometimes, like, when you're in a workspace, like, I feel like people try to celebrate you in ways that they decide are celebratory at a workplace, but it always ends up being more work for me. And I'm like, how is you giving me, okay, like, I was, like, on this project, and I, like, I had a lot of, like, parts to it that I was working on. And because of it, they're like, oh, you should, like, now share about this with this group of people. And I'm like, so
another
I was
task?
like, you're the idea of how to celebrate me for this thing that you are trying to, like, thank me for is by giving me a chance to speak to people who I don't know about why is that so, how is that. So it's, like, a tricky thing where I'm just, like, trying to remain grateful and, like, you know, remain, like, you know, I'm grateful that, like, they want to acknowledge me and, like, all these, that's, you know, and, like, balancing that with, like, this isn't celebratory. This is, like, so I'm having a hard time trying to think about, like, what labor does celebration involve, and like what of it is like worth it, or not, I don't know the answer, but that's something I've been grappling with.
Yeah, that's hard. Yeah, that's hard. I mean, I think we're all always coming up against how other people want to celebrate us versus what we find.
I just don't. Yeah, I feel like my answer is not clear enough that I don't have a response. You know, like I don't know if I have a good sense of like what feels like celebration to me. So it's hard for me to be like not that, because I don't have a counter. I'm not like this instead. I'm just like not. Yeah. I'm just like not that. So nothing, I guess, but just not that. Like.
Yeah. I mean, an alternative, at least in that case, I don't know if this would actually feel any better, but maybe everyone goes around the room, at least on your team, who know you, and they can all speak to one part of the project that you help them like complete.
Maybe, I don't know. But I'm thinking about like gratitude, and like sometimes it's okay to be celebrated in a way that like maybe it's not what you want, but like people want to, like I think about my mom a lot about that, like the kinds of things she gets me, I'm like, why are you buying me? Like, it's not things that I want, right? But I know what it feels like for her to like get to celebrate me, right? So there's this balance of like, yes, you should always be celebrated how you want to be celebrated, and like that's worth centering sometimes, but you know, being part of a community means like letting others also like gush over you in ways that they want to, because they're as proud of your accomplishment as like maybe you, or maybe more, or I don't know, right? So there's this interesting balance of like showing up and being like a villager and being celebrated, even if it's not maybe like your preference, or you know, I don't know, what you want to do that day.
I think a lot about graduations and
oh my God,
all the moms that come and they have their flowers and they're like, wow, that's my baby, and just like embarrassing you, or what feels like embarrassment. And they're your mom.
That's your community.
That's your community. And they want people to know that they're in the room and that's, you know, they're watching you graduate.
Yeah.
And so there is not a benefit, but I think it's important to know how you want to be celebrated and to allow other people to celebrate you in ways that they want to as well. Like, I do agree with that. I don't think
like some sort of balancing act.
Yeah. But to me, knowing how you want to be celebrated is so important.
How do you learn that though? How do you know?
I really
like
don't
trial
know.
and error, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, even the question that you asked earlier, just like what energizes you. Like for my birthday a few years ago, I was like, oh, I want everyone to get a massage. Come.
Like lay.
Let's, yeah. And then you walk down, you was like, wow, I feel like a layer of my body has been taken.
Like, right, it's gone. I didn't know it was possible. Yeah.
And so for me also, celebration is like, what is something that we can do in community together?
Yeah.
Can we learn a new skill together? Like one of the things that I want to do this year, not for my birthday, just in general, it's like flower arrangements.
Yeah.
Let's learn how to make a little flower.
Beautification, you know?
Yeah, why not? So there's something about doing things with other people and like learning something new that feels celebratory for me. It's like, oh, we're building our skills.
Yeah, right.
And
like, we're learning how to do
having
stuff.
a good time. That's great. That's a great time. Pottery. There's so many examples
like hands-on
of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like those are some of the things that you would enjoy too, like doing something with someone else.
Yeah. Maybe I just don't call it celebration. Maybe I just need to change the language I'm using. You know,
what would you call it?
Just existing. I don't know, like hanging out with my friends. Like I feel like my house is like a craftsman's house. There's so many things here. It's like candle making things, like ceramics, whatever. So I feel like that is just how I spend time with people. I'm like, yeah, I don't know why I don't call it celebrate. Like just it can be. That's an easy switch of language that I think changes it. Yeah.
And sometimes it is just that simple.
Yeah.
To be like, oh, actually this thing that I am already doing this.
Right.
I am just not naming it or categorizing it in this way. Like, didn't the other day you make cups or something from scratch?
Oh, yeah.
What? I said, wow, that's great. I would never do that. You just learn how to make a cup from scratch.
Ceramics, you know, some pottery. Yeah. Yeah.
It is worthy of celebrating.
But I think it's language, right? Because like
it is
for
language.
me, like right, that's the tricky part. Like, I think that's why I'm having such a hard time defining it. Is like I think that the way that I've learned about it is that it's this thing that happens occasionally because of big things that are done, right? The way that I understand it is so much smaller. Like it's raining today. That's amazing. The plants are getting water. I don't know. Like there's everything. Like you can call anything a celebration. So I think that's where I'm like the language of it is what's tricky for me versus like the the action of it, like this is a celebration. Like we're doing consistency, discipline around the things that you want to do. Like that's celebration, right? Like moving your body every day, picking out your outfit. I don't know, like looking cute for tomorrow, whatever. Like whatever you like, free will. Like any of that is celebration. At least how I understand it, but I don't think that's how it's used. I don't think that's how like it's generally used. I don't know. Maybe
I think living is worthy of celebrating.
Yeah, I think that in itself is a celebration, right? I don't have to do anything else. That's the part. Like you don't have to do anything more than the thing you're doing for it to be celebratory.
I want to look for this poem by Lucille Clifton where she's like, "Won't you celebrate with me?" You know it.
I think so.
No, you do.
Okay.
Don't you worry. She says, "Won't you celebrate with me what I have shaped into a kind of life? I had no model. Born in Babylon, born non-white and women, what did I see to be except myself? I made it up. Here on this bridge between starshine and clay, my one hand holding tight, my other hand. Come celebrate with me that every day something has tried to kill me and has failed."
Lucille Clifton, everyone. That's so beautiful. All right.
Read by Adeline.
Yeah, hey, read by Adeline. You're right, it's important. We got to make sure we get messy number 2, reading poems on the podcast. It's amazing. Okay, let's like switch gears a little bit to like now actionable things. Like think about, as you know, for the rest of the year, for what's coming in front of you, what are things that you want to celebrate more often?
I want to celebrate when I see my friends. Especially recognizing that not everyone lives in the same state, and acknowledging like how beautiful it is that we have chosen to come together when we didn't have to. Sometimes we spend a lot of money to be able to do that. And how glorious it is that we can just sit and talk and have a meal. I want to celebrate that more often.
So beautiful. Is there a particular way you want to celebrate that, or just is by doing it the celebration?
It's by doing it. Yeah. I think that's like the biggest, like the main one for me right now. Just like celebrate being in company with people and deeply having conversations and being like, oh wow, like I didn't know that we had these not similarities, but I didn't know that we had these connections.
Like through lines.
These through lines. Yeah. Yeah. And maybe I also want to celebrate, like, what is it that brings us together? And like keeping that at the top of my mind as well. Like, what do we actually have in common? Like, what are the things that we enjoy doing together? And how can we center those things every time? What about for
beautiful.
You?
That too. I think like not being busy. Like I think everyone is so, for whatever reason, work, whatever it may be, like are all wrapped up in like so many things. And if there's like small pockets where like we're just like at dinner, or we're like not on our computers, or we're not like staring into like debt or bill, whatever. There's like moments where we're not so overwhelmed by the things that pull our attention away from just like existing. I think I'm trying to get better at staying there longer if possible. And like acknowledging when we're all collectively doing that more.
Yeah.
Cause like it's like everyone, we're all doing, I mean, and we have to, right? Like survival, whatever you want to call it. So it's nice when like it's quiet and there's no work to do and we're like having a quiet meal, or we're having a longer meal, or we're staying somewhere a little bit longer than we like maybe think we can or whatever. So I want to get better at creating more of those opportunities.
Yeah.
For myself. I think in my house and I do a great job at it because it's always dark, which means it's always quiet, which means things are always slow here. So I want to create more of those containers, and then I think I also want to try to get better at pulling people into slow with me.
Yeah. I love that. I would like to be a better hostess.
What does that mean for you?
Having people
like doing it more. Okay, I was like, you're not a bad hostess. I think you're a great hostess. Oh, so you want to do it more?
I want to do it more.
I see.
For no reason.
Yes.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be a birthday. It doesn't have to be a holiday.
It could just be Thursday.
It could just be Sunday.
Yeah.
And we're all gonna enjoy a meal together and hang out.
Yeah, I was on my list. I don't I like it when I do it.
Yeah.
But it's just, there's so many pieces to it that
I know,
make it hard.
I think it's worthy.
Yeah, I agree.
Doing it.
I'm down. When's it gonna happen? I would like to come.
I got you.
Oh, okay, bet.
I got you.
This is very exciting. It's the right season, you know? It's rainy, it's cold.
It's time.
Yeah. It's time to be inside.
Not only is it time to be inside, it's time to be together.
Okay.
Not in ways that cost me a lot of money.
Yeah. Yes. Here to less money spending. Okay. I love. Yeah, the reason why I want to talk about celebration is I think that, like, I don't know, like, with all the things that are happening and all the running around we're doing, I think that there's so much, like, talking about grief in our last season, there's so much to mourn, there's so much to, like, I don't know, avoid and distract yourself with, and I think that those things also rob us of, like, celebrating, because we're trying to, like, we're not able to, like, you're running away from so many things that you just, like, you can't even acknowledge that, like, today wasn't as bad as yesterday. Like, it was fine. You had a good day. I feel like growing up, it was, like, cool to be, like, sad, or, like, cool to be, like, have nothing going well, like, to just, like, everything to be, like, a shit show.
Yeah.
And I don't know what changed or when that pivot happened, but, you know, like, I want to be able to answer the question of, like, how's it going, and be able to say, like, good, and not, like, everything's so, I don't know, like, there's a pivot that I think happened in adulthood where I rather try to answer it in a good way with more affirmations.
I love
do you
that.
know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely.
That happened to you in high school too?
Yeah. My personality was my trauma for a long time. And so...
What's your personality now?
I don't think it's my trauma anymore.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so. Things are good. Things are good for the most part. And
Yeah.
there are things that, you know, there are things that I want to be differently, but for the most part, I am content.
Look at that.
And that's glorious.
Yeah.
That is glorious.
I love that.
I want other people to also feel that way.
Do you think that that's because things are actually all better, like, in a lot of ways, or that, like, your mindset around, like, life has changed?
Both.
Okay.
Both.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I will never negate the importance of our mindset, because our mindset determines so many things. And so if you see the world through gray clouds,
Everything
that is the
sucks all the time.
feedback that you will receive. And so there's something about looking at what's happening and at least acknowledging one thing that is going well.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be everything.
Right.
It could just be that one thing, and treasuring that. Because, oh my goodness, there's this person that I work with, and she's always like, I need to catch up. And I'm like, but we wrote this email.
Yay! A task was done. Woo, woo, woo.
Clap, clap, bravo.
Yeah,
We're one step closer to what we wanted.
Yeah.
That is enough. And I think the reason why I have made such a shift is because I have seen for myself and for other people how hard we are on ourselves.
Yeah. And that costs you, like, your health. Costs you your health.
Yes.
It, like, shortens your life so much.
Yes.
Just your brain, just, like, thinking about just, yeah.
Yes. And so life is worth celebrating. The small bits are worth celebrating. And I think your definition of celebration is accurate to me. It doesn't have to be grand gestures. It doesn't have to be expensive. It could be in the everyday.
Yeah. It's easier that way, you know? Like, life is way more fun when I get to celebrate, like, making myself breakfast. I'm like, I did it. I'm eating food in the morning. Yay.
We should just have a clap sound every time we do something well.
Yeah.
Like, woohoo.
Yeah. I'm glad the shift happened. I think for me it's definitely mindset. There's, like, things that are happening now that have happened before that, like, I think felt like the world was ending, and, like, the same things are happening now, but, like, it doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel like the world's ending the same. The world's probably actually ending. I don't know.
Yeah.
It feels like it, but the shift I think gives you. I think that the shift gives you options you don't see if you don't have it. I think, right? Like, if you're able to be like, well, things will have to change for the better, then, like, I think you're a little more creative in your problem solving.
Yeah. And even when I think events are just such a helpful example, because sometimes you create an event and you want 100 people to be there, but 13 showed up.
You better have a party with 30 people. You could focus on the people that didn't come, but that will get you nowhere.
You know?
Yeah. That's also like a thing I've heard in activist spaces, like organize the folks that are coming. Like,
Exactly.
don't organize the people who are not in the room. Organize the 10 people that showed up.
Yeah.
Because it is so much more worth your time and their time to like use the time you have than to like ponder why people didn't or shouldn't or could have come or didn't come. Yeah.
Exactly.
So that lesson I think is a through line for a lot of parts of life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
So here's the celebration.
Here's a celebration. All right. This is a good point. So what do you want our listeners to take away from our conversation today?
Find one thing to celebrate each day. That's not a takeaway. That's more of an action.
that could
a call to action.
Yeah, call to action is your takeaway. There you go. Call to action. What's mine? I think you can dig deep into small things, right? Like I think when we first started talking, I was like, can we talk about celebration for like an entire episode? I'm like, yeah, there's so much to like understand and unpack about some of the things that we brush away. So I think hopefully their takeaway is that the small things are worth understanding deeply. Mm-hmm. And developing like habits around the small things, because your life is made up of them, of small things.
Yeah.
What is your takeaway?
It is important to figure out how we want to be celebrated and to allow other people to show us what is celebratory for them. And finding a middle ground between those two things is how we learn to be in relationship, is another way that we learn to be in relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think mine is I need to figure out how I want to be celebrated.
Yeah.
I don't know an answer. And I think getting better at articulating it for myself, but also articulating it for people in a way that they can actually like do something about it with. Because, you know, we are all part of a community. And to be, if you want people to come to things for you, you have to kind of be able to show up for yourself, for them, you know? It should be reciprocal in some ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll let you know what I come up with. Right now it's nothing. And then I think we should end our episode with a toast to the messy part, because we can celebrate that we're made it to season 3.
Cheers.
Happy season 3.
Happy season 3.
Yay.